Hello, everyone, and good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. And I'm here to tell you that if you enjoy the show in any capacity at all, maybe I'm funny, maybe I have good guests, maybe, I don't know, sometimes I'm interesting, whatever. If there's anything that you like about this show, please hit that follow button, that subscribe button, wherever you're listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like the videos, you subscribe to the channel, you comment, and you share. I am tired of working menial jobs and would love to speed up the process of making some money on this goddamn thing. So please like, comment, subscribe, share, tell everyone about us wherever you listen to the show. Follow it. Makes a huge difference. Thank you guys. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the show. Lovely Monday. Thank you all again. I'm here bummed out in the studio, all sweaty, trying to get back into gym. I got my, little news on my back, my MRI. I don't know if I've been even talking about it much on here. But I have been plagued with a back injury more serious than I'd like. It's not the worst thing in the world. I just got to figure out a way to work around it and manage the pain. But I have a degenerative disc in my spine, which is something I love to hear. I've been watching a lot of House lately. House MD, the old show. That dude was a bad motherfucker. Hugh Laurie as a douchebag diagnostician who's the best in the world. That, for whatever reason, that character, Dr. House, is like inspiring to me. How like he's always 3 steps ahead of everybody. He's incredibly smart. But anyway, it don't matter. But degenerative disc, you know what I'm saying? Degenerative is a word that I heard in the show. And I heard it and I was like, yo, that's good. That's what I want to hear. Yeah, so I got a degenerative disc in my back and I have some nerve damage on my right side. And due to the disc damage, it's kind of shoot down my right knee. So what's happening now is the 2 options, right? One is I can do physical therapy, and they can put me on a drug called gabapentin, which is a nerve medication, and I can be on a steady dose of that. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to have all these pills lined up for me to take already. I'm fucking 24. I don't even know how old I am. Could be 78. Who knows, right? Can't call it. But, yeah, I got the back injury, and the option is gabapentin and PT or injections in the spine, which sounds a lot more fun to me, right? It sounds more, romantic in my mind. Spinal injection. That sounds like a death metal band. Now, welcome to the stage, performing C5 vertebrae. Spinal injection. Spinal injection. Get your tickets now. But yeah, I'm going to meet with a doctor at the end of December, which kind of sucks because I was hoping to get this figured out before the new year because I am a fat slob right now and I need to work on that in a different way that I ever have before, which is part of what I wanted to talk about today. And, just the idea of adaptation and constantly getting setbacks, right? Setbacks bring adaptation. It has to, right? If there's no setbacks, then there's nothing to change. If you don't ever fuck something up or lose or have a bad day or whatever in whatever you're doing, then how do you know to change anything up, right? Well, you don't know you could be doing it even better. And then really what that setback is just a weakness in whatever plan you had already. So you just have proven to yourself that plan that you had is penetrable, right? And something happened. So now I'm really, for whatever reason, the cold weather has got me like ready to go ham. I don't know what it is. I got in the cold water the other day after riding my bike. I rode to Bristol, from Providence to Bristol. For people who don't know, that's the East Bay bike path. It's about 14 and a half miles one way. You end up doing around 30 miles, doing way and back. So I got in the cold-ass water there, and I don't know, it felt great. And now that I can't really lift weights, which has been a part of my regimen, it's been a part of what I've done for, a long time, since I was a freshman in high school, more or less, even before then. but I can't really lift weights because of my back. And so what my plan of attack is now is going to physical therapy as well as finding out about these spinal injections. Because I think, in my mind, and we're going to see what the doctor says, is if I can get the spinal injection and then start working into movements and PT and structuring the muscles around the area and finding a way to move again, then, we can start working on lifting and all that stuff. But I think that'll be the plan of attack. Because I think that once I get the injection, I'll be able to manage with the pain, and I'll be able to learn, what exactly we have to do to get back to lifting weights, which is kind of my goal. That, and like I said, I've kind of, let myself go, definitely, because of these setbacks. My plan that I had in place, not happening now, right? Going to the gym is going to be swimming and sauna and body weight stuff. Very little weightlifting, or in the same capacity I was before, right? I could probably still do arms or shit that I don't really care about. But getting stronger, there's no deadlifts, there's no squats, there's no back rows, no bench, no nothing, right? No heavy weights. So the goal now is going to be hardening my, you take a step back and you realize that there's some things you have to do to put your plan into action. Right? I always try to relate this to other people. So for me, what it is I have to just work on something else. Strength is going to come differently now. But my goal is to lose weight, essentially. It's been my goal this whole year. I'm definitely not hitting 185. I'm 215 right now. I'm a fat slob in my mind. And it's basically because I've been getting these injuries. I've been re-injuring myself with this back, but now I know what the deal is. And with the information I have, I know what I can do. So it's really got to be, it's going to be very focused on cardio. It's going to be focused on trying to diet a little better. And that's why I brought up the cold weather, because now it's like, it's time to go hard. It's time, and that's rolling right into the new year, right? The cold weather reminds you, it's like you were having a lot of fun out here, motherfucker, with your shirt off, walking around, didn't care what you look like. Or maybe you did really care what you look like, and you were showing it off. And basically you're having a good fucking time in the summertime, right? You're eating, you're drinking, you're having a good time. All your inhibitions are lowered. Some people work less in the summertime. Then the cold hits, and that seasonal depression that everybody likes to talk about, likes to sweep in because it starts to get darker earlier and colder, and it's brutal, and people don't like it, and it makes them upset. And I understand. It affects people. You know what I'm saying? Seasonal depression. I felt like I probably had that. This year, I don't feel it. I feel good in the cold. I don't know why. I like the cold weather. This year in particular, I'm really embracing the cold weather. I don't know why. This is a long time coming, because I've really been liking the summer and the heat. I've gotten used to that, but I've narrowed it down to the point where I don't like the snow. I like how the cold makes you feel. Like working out outside in the cold, for whatever reason, I'm like wanting to do that. I don't know what it is. So like riding my bike, I want to get in like the cold water. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm turning into a fucking maniac. Because my back has really hindered me. And sometimes we have sore backs, right? In the forms of a bunch of different things. Feeling inadequate, switching up on a job, deciding on whether or not to switch up on a career as a whole. Some people want to go back to school. Some people need more money. Whatever the fucking deal is, there's setbacks all the goddamn time. And it just so happens that mine shares a word with the word setback. Back. Broken fucking back. That's what I have. So this 215 on this hurt back is going to feel much better if it's not at 215, right? This frame, this body is probably, I'm going to feel better on my knees and on my lower back if I get down to weight. I've been putting shirts on that I used to be comfortable in. I used to look good in. I'd feel good in. And now they are tight. Some of my work clothes, bro, I'll put a work shirt on. I'm sitting in my car with my seatbelt on. I'm like, God damn, I'm a sloppy bastard now. Holy shit, am I comfortable? It's I always talk about this point of the year, right? It's kind of a new, I guess, adaptation that I've gotten over time, realizing that this point in the year goes very fast, right? Really, November and December are like a blink of an eye. They're very fast. Next week is fucking Thanksgiving, and we will have a fun Thanksgiving episode for you guys. Don't worry about it. That you can also listen to while you're waiting online on Black Friday. And we all know about Black Friday. It's my favorite holiday, right? I've already spoken about it. I'm actually going to be going out on Black Friday, which is crazy. I talk so much shit about Black Friday, and I'm succumbing to it. I'm succumbing to the massive consumption day 2 days in a row. It's beautiful marketing. It really is. It's something to be marveled at. It's not talked about enough. Thanksgiving, the day of extreme gluttony, and piggybacked on that is the day of, spending a lot of money. A lot of money. Consumption and abundance those 2 days. It's great. But anyway, we will have an episode for you then. But again, we're already... what do we got? Today's Saturday for me, so Monday for you guys. We have a week and a day, right? From Monday. From the, what is that? The 20... I can't see my calendar. I write really tiny. The 22nd, maybe? So we have a week and a day left, okay? This month is done, and then we got 31 more days, and we're fucking finished with this year. So at this point in the year, you gotta get that engine revving, warm it up, right? You wake up, we're talking about the cold weather, you wake up in the morning, hopefully you got a remote start. If not, you're a retard, right? If you live in a cold place, spend the money, goddammit. Spend the money, it's worth it. Get the remote start. You can sit in your house and drink coffee and jerk off and shave your balls and do the whole nine, and your car is warm when you sit in it. It's fucking great. But anyway, you warm it up, right? And then even when you get in the car, you might even warm it up a little bit more. If you're a plebeian who doesn't have a remote start, you have to do that anyway. You got to get in your car, cold, sit there, and you got to wait. If you just drive it off, you can do that, sure, but you're going to be cold. You might not be able to see out of your windshield, depending how old your car is. I have yet to have a car where I can see out of my windshield in the cold. And granted, I've only had a couple cars, but it's gonna run fucked up, and it's gonna diminish over time, right? It's gonna fuck your car up over time. So in real life, it's the cold, right? It's November. Get that shit revving. Let's go. Let's hit the ground running. Try and hit one of those last standing goals that you had for last year. If you still haven't got it, try your heart out in this last 2 months. Bang that shit out. It's crazy. I wonder if this theme is going to happen as the podcast goes on, because this is only my second fall doing this. So maybe, every year this is just going to be a thing where we're going to talk about it. Talk about revving that motherfucking engine. It gets me excited. It really does. It gets me excited for the new year. Once November hits, I'm like, okay, here we go. Rocking and motherfucking rolling. Get ready. Which is why I'm trying to, adopt this mindset of being uncomfortable again and getting a new workout regimen, one that works for me. It's going to be swimming, biking. Maybe I'll do some rowing. I don't know. The back hurts, but we'll see if we can work that in there. We got to start doing the footwork ladder again. I used to do that shit every day. We're going to try running. We're going to do some hill sprints. We're going to do calisthenics, push-ups, pull-ups. And if there's weights that we can add in, we're going to try and add it in. But also, we're going to work on recovery. So for me, it's peppermint oil and getting in the sauna. Also, getting in the hot tub. Both very, very good for you. At least I think. I get positive benefits from it. So that's what the fuck I'm going to do, goddammit. And, again, I like the cold water, so we're going to see maybe do some bike rides and jump in a lake or some shit. Who knows? We're going to get crazy. I'm going to get hypothermia for you guys. And this is going to be what you have left. He said he wanted to go crazy. So he went crazy. He went and jumped in the water and came up in a fucking ice cube like they do in the cartoons, right? They go in the freezing water and they come up in a big block. Boing, boing. But yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. And again, I don't talk about myself just to talk about myself. I don't enjoy doing that. A lot of people do. I don't. Sometimes I do. If it's something, if someone asks about the podcast or if someone asks about the comedy, yeah, totally, I'll talk about it. But I don't want to come on here all the time and just be talking about myself. I try to relate it to you guys. So whatever your back problem is that's hindering you from doing something, address that bitch. It's taken me months to address it and really stare it in the face and get an answer. And now I've gotten the answer, and we're going to try our motherfucking hearts out. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try hard. And again, we're going to have a new list of things for next year. We're going to be working on it soon. And that's what the fuck it is. I think I vaguely remember last week that I was going to do a finance episode on here, and I totally neglected that idea. So I don't have that for you today. I didn't do any preparation in terms of finance stuff, which is kind of, you need some preparation. But I will say what I've been doing lately is putting a lot of stuff on credit, right? I feel like I spoke about this last week. Maybe. I really don't remember. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of talking now. A lot of my job, any of the shit that I do is talking, right? I'm a server in a restaurant. I talk all fucking night. All you do is talk. Granted, it's a lot of the same shit. When you're talking to tables, it's very routine. It's very, very much a sales pitch type deal. And you say the same shit every night. But you do talk a lot. And there are tables that want to talk to you and whatever. Plus, you talk with the people you work with. Then I come on here and I do this twice a week at least. And I talk like a motherfucker. Then I get on stage and I talk. And then now I'm starting this Dave & Buster's job where I'm going to talk while football games are going. Like, it's just all talking, right? So I don't remember the shit that I talk about. But lately, I've been using credit. And credit and debt is something that should be utilized as you get deeper and deeper in your finance, finance repertoire. You get deeper in your finance bag. Everybody wants to talk about investments, and so do I. Everybody wants to talk about, passive income and where to put your money, when to put your money, how to put your money, what to do with your money. How do you do it? Where do you put it? The next best thing. And I watched something. I don't remember the guy's name. He looked very much like Bernie Madoff, but he was not. This guy was some other rich, person, probably a Jewish person, had a lot of money. And he said that a debit card is one of the worst financial instruments you can use. And now I am realizing that, because if you're going to spend, get some of that money back. You might as well. Right? You might as well. Putting all my expenses that aren't rent and utilities and whatever else, I think I'm just going to put it all on my credit card. Put it all on the card, pay that shit off in good bundles at the end of the month, and leave that credit running. You always hear about it all the time. Don't use your own fucking money. Don't use your own money. The money that you make should be used to make more money. The money that I'm making should be used to, enhance what I'm doing here. I should be able to buy more equipment. I should be able to do that. Use that money to put gas in your car and keep your car fixed, because you're going to be traveling a lot with comedy, right? Driving back and forth and whatever else. Debt and credit is something that's incredibly underutilized in real world, right? A lot of the people use credit cards for vacations, which is good, right? You can get travel cards and you get a lot of expenses covered if you use it often, but you got to use it, right? You got to use it. That's part of it. But a lot of people use it for vacations. They use it to finance different things, right? The biggest one is obviously a house, and that's a good, that's a good investment. Real estate, of course. But, you can finance anything. I'm thinking about getting a new laptop. I need to finance that. My bicycle. That's on a credit card. It's fine. I got to pay that motherfucker off. And it's good to kind of, it's a good mental exercise too, because you can kind of back yourself into a corner with your credit card. You don't want to, bury yourself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying bury yourself, but you get to a point where if you're a guy like me whose income varies, right? Partly because of being in a restaurant, working different jobs, the whole nine. Right now, I think I'm going to be okay for a little while, as long as this Dave & Buster's gig rolls through, because they are paying me some pretty decent money. But, it makes you, it forces you to budget. And it forces a guy like me and other people out there who are kind of independent contractors in a way. You got to make a certain amount of money if you want to spend a certain amount of money. You almost got to determine what your zero is now in your bank, in your credit card. If it's $200 a month, cool. You keep $200, kind of fluctuating in there. That means you can spend, and you don't want to spend more than, I don't know, 2,000 in the month, then you're you really only have to pay back 1,800 is the point I'm trying to make here. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I should have just gave you guys this fucking example in the first place. Jesus. For me, I don't want to go over 2,000 a month on my credit card, right? Because that's fucking, that's too much. And as far as a running balance, I'd go, half that, 1,000, under 1,000. I'm comfortable with that because at any given time I can just liquidate, something, or, if I'm worried about whatever, I can pay that shit off. But it's good to have a running balance. That's the thing. Nobody tells you specifically how to use credit cards. Nobody tells you how to use credit or debt. Debt is huge. Monstrous corporations and companies, debt financing all day. That's a bond. You ever get bonds when you were a kid? You had a real old fucking family member. They're like, hey, here's a savings bond. And you're going to put money into that. And in 7 years, it's going to be worth something. You cash it out and you'll be good. That is a company or a government issuing debt. And it's saying, hey, you guys pay us. We're going to give you a note that says, hey, in 10 years, come back. You'll get the money back plus 10%. Boom. It's like a loan. That's what bonds are. That's debt financing. There's capital financing and debt financing, right? Is that what it's called? Capital? Fuck. I sound stupid. But capital financing, and what I'm thinking is like stock, right? When a company issues stock, you buy it from them, you're giving them money, and in return, you're getting the gains or the dividends or both. So that's the difference there. So debt is utilized across the board. This country is built on debt, on cheap debt, right? That's why everybody wants to invest with us. That's why businesses thrive and are made and whatever the fuck else. It is debt, right? You'll hear competing opinions. I'm pretty sure Mark Cuban said that starting a company on debt or a loan is a terrible fucking idea, which is probably true, right? He has way more money than I do. But there's also other people who start companies on loans and they blow it the fuck up. And now they pay that loan back 1,000 times over, right? Have plenty of money off, It's a tricky thing, right? Money, finance. I know last week, right, I spoke about if money wasn't a factor. And but that's not true unless you get to unless you're at either extreme, right? You're homeless as fuck, money's not a factor. Who gives a fuck? If I get sick, I can't go to the doctor. I can't pay for anything, right? Who cares? And then if you're rich as fuck, you can pay for anything. So who cares, right? Money's not a factor. It's when you're in the middle. It's when you're, either staying in the middle or teetering on either side, right? You don't know if you're going to eat shit and die or thrive like a motherfucker. And, that's what happens if money wasn't a factor. But money is a factor for most of it. It's a factor for me. I'm a regular fucking guy. I'm a, working class man. Trying to escape that though, right? Through different mediums, right? A podcast. I'm gonna try and be a fucking comic now. I'm trying to do all this shit, and there's no money in comedy, but eventually, who knows, right? Something could happen. You got to keep the faith. You got to keep the face, right? You got to put your face on and keep it. No. You got to keep the faith. Jesus, I can't talk. What the hell's the matter with me today? You got to keep the faith. The faith. The faith. Some hope, right? But, that's a different conversation for a different day. We're talking about debt financing, right? How the fuck do we switch over to that shit? But debt financing, use it in your life. Finance your life with it, Pay for shit that you might not have the money for now, but will. That's the idea of credit. If there was no such thing as credit, we'd all be forced to save money. And how long would it take you to buy a house? How long would it take you to buy a car? How long would it take you to fucking buy anything? To go on vacation, it would take even longer. Who invented credit? That's what I want to know. Who were the first purveyors of credit? It's interesting because, so many... I'm thinking it's like an ancient thing because there's been bartered like, here, hold on to this. I'll be back with it, right? Like it's the same shit as like, hey, can I borrow your shovel? And then you use that shovel to, grow crop, and then you sell that crop, you give the shovel back. And if that guy who's giving you the shovel is smart, he's like, hey, what are you going to go use that shovel for? oh, I got to go grow my crop for the season and bring it to the market. And he's like, hey, that's my shovel. How about you, kick a little my way, 10%? Boom. That's how business is done. It's bartering. It really is. We're not far from the barter system. We just put a value on the thing that we're all bartering with, right? That's what it is. Here's $3,000. Thank you for the new camera. Here's $50,000. Let me get that new SUV. Thanks. That's all it is, right? Except now, the value of whatever we have a universal value system, whereas before it was more like 2 chickens. Here's a bag of rice. I don't really need the rice, but I do need the chickens. So here's a 20-pound bag of rice. Those 2 chickens will give me eggs for months. Thank you. Here's some spices from this country. You can sell those on a good market. Give us rope. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't around. But it was based more on a personal value or a value of the community or the government or whatever the fuck. And now it's more of money has become a universal thing. And bartering really isn't, there's still trades and shit, but it's not like a system. Traditional bartering is again based on like a personal value system. I need this, you need that. Let's work this out together. But then as I'm saying it, as you break it down, it's like, hey, I'm providing a service and you're giving me money. I need money to cover the service costs, plus I need money to live, plus if there's people in the area, I need to give them, if there's people working with me, I need them to, give me money and whatever the fuck else. Or I need to give them money. Employees, right? So there's different metrics, essentially. But when you really break it down, it's just exchanging things. If there was no hierarchy system and there was just a barter system, we would be, chilling, rocking and rolling. There'd be nothing to worry about. If you didn't have anything to trade, it's not like you couldn't afford something. You still have your whatever. But it doesn't matter, right? Debt financing, it's a helpful thing. It's dangerous. A lot of people are nervous of it. But if you're smart, it's honestly even easier if you have a set income that's coming in, right? The only thing that changes is your frequency and willingness to spend, I guess. Because if your money's changing, then it's like, hey, I made a lot of money this week. Let's, I'll buy these things that I need because whatever. Or not that I need, things that I want. Or I'll fill up my tank, or I'll do some shit like that, Whereas if you have a steady amount, you kind of know and don't know what you can't spend and what you can't spend. So it's just a game, guys. Money is stressful. It very much is. And the reason why I'm talking about it in a more, I guess, relaxed light is because I have this new opportunity that's going to be paying me a little bit more money. Whereas last week, I was talking about money is, we don't need it. And yeah, I mean, I'm an idealist kind of guy. Not an idealist, but what's the word I'm looking for? Foxes, the way they capitalize on things, right? When they hunt, they capitalize on shit. They're like sneaky, right? That's why, sneaky like a fox, sly like a fox. That's true. Because they'll sneak up on your ass when you're injured, or they'll take advantage of you while they're opportunistic. There we go. I'm opportunistic. Opportunity. It's the only thing that's given in life, goddammit. So when you ain't got no money, that's an opportunity that you're given to work on something else, to work on getting more money. When you're coming into money, now you have opportunity to use that money or to not use it, right? And vice versa the other way. If you come into little money, then it's like, hey, what's there to lose? I'll just spend it. Fuck it. Not the best way to move, but hey, you could spend it on something that'll make you money. You could buy a stock and it raises your shit up. You're like, fuck it. There we go. Quick little $200 come up. Who gives a god darn? Who gives a god darn it? It's all a game, guys. Money is just a tool. You play with it. It's malleable. So it turns out I was able to give you guys a little bit of a finance thing. We talked, about a couple different topics today, and I like that. I like it. A lot of it was talking about me, but hey, it's only me in this motherfucker. There's nobody else in here, so it's me and you, and we're listening to each other. And maybe you're talking to yourself, maybe you're responding. You're like, hey, Yeah, I've been trying to drive 2 hours to go see my lady, but every time I do it, I fall asleep at the wheel and I crash. Maybe I'll have coffee, right? Hope you guys got that analogy. He's trying to drive, but he keeps crashing and falling into ditches and shit. That's his broken back. Now he's like, let's address it. Let's drink coffee. Let's take some no-dos, right? That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping somebody out there has a really menial problem that doesn't affect anybody, barely affects them, but they hear about it, and they hear about this, and they're like, hey, I could have some coffee, right? It's warm in here. How about we turn the AC on, right? That's all I want. Just everybody to be a little more, not too much more comfortable, right? Not too comfortable. Not Kyle Rittenhouse comfortable. You don't want to be that comfortable, right? You don't want that. Anyway, guys, thank you so goddamn much for listening to the show today. Thank you all so much for supporting the show when you can. And right now, the form of support is listening and telling people about us and following and all that shit. That right now is all I'm asking for. Eventually, I'm going to have you motherfuckers pay for something because I'm over here doing this shit for free. But that's why I do it. It's fun. I love you guys. All of you guys. Thank you all for listening. Again, follow the show all over the place. Links in the description. And if you're in the area, if you're in Connecticut and you want to hear me tell some jokes, go to the Comics Roadhouse March 3rd or 5th. One of those days. I'll find out for you right now. It's going to be my first bringer show. So make sure you go up. If you decide to go, you tell the guy who you're there to see, and you know his motherfucking name. It's going to be March 3rd. Yes, I was right. March 3rd. Check that shit out, guys. It's a Thursday. It's a while from now, so I'm going to be talking about it for a while. Maybe there'll be another date mixed in there at some point, but who gives a fuck? Thank you all so much for listening. Peace.